Yay!
I'm Eric Richards. We're live here at Cherry and Broadway. This is where a peaceful protest is happening now against the Broadway roadway diet. The organizer of this event is Robert Fox. He's here with us now. Robert, what are you guys doing out here today?
We're trying to tell the city government that this doesn't work. We've called, we've spoken, we've done everything that we know how to do, and they just won't listen to us.
Okay, what's wrong with the project?
It's dangerous. The way it's configured, if you're pulling out of a driveway into Broadway, you have to cross a bicycle lane, and then you can't see because the cars are parked, so you have to pull out in front of that. And by the time you pull out in front of the cars, a car will come by and sideswipe you and take the front of your car off. They don't believe about the statistics. People just call them in to me, so we're taking affidavits today. And I hope the city will not distrust its citizens when they make the claim of the accidents that have happened on this street, more than we've had in 3 decades. We've had many people injured here. I've had cars flip over right here on the corner of Cherry and Broadway, on Obispo and Broadway. We've had fire trucks hate it. The fire marshal warned them against this. They can't get the fire trucks down the street. They're 10 feet, 5 inches wide, and the street's only 10. So if 2 big trucks come at the same time, they slow down to 0, trying to get by each other. Think about this. We're supposed to, by the law, get our cars out of the way when an emergency vehicle comes. How? There's no space to do that here. Number one, and the most important part of this was, there was no notification to the citizens of Long Beach. Janine Pierce says that they notified us, and trust me, if anything got noticed, I would know it, being founding president of Broadway. The original plan they had was for a bicycle lane on one side of the street and diagonal parking on the other. All of a sudden one day this happened, and nobody was notified about it. We had no comment over it. We didn't get to say, does this work for us?
So,
That's bad government.
okay, so let me ask you this. What do you think the solution is to this problem as you see it?
Well, I think first of all, you ask the people. I mean, if you think the government is supposed to just do everything and you suck that egg, then you don't know what democracy is all about. You have community meetings. I'm hiring a draftsman to come in, and we're going to make various designs that people are going to give us. And they're going to say, oh, we want this or we want that. Maybe we'll come up with 3 designs, and then we get to choose what's the most appropriate for us. That's the way democracy works, and that's the way a council office should work.
So let's go back here just a second to the statement you made about there being more accidents here along this corridor, more accidents recently than in the last 30 years. Where did you get that info from?
Well, I've lived on Broadway since 1992. I have a house here. I founded the corridor in 1992 also. I live on Broadway. So I'm watching the first accident. I thought, oh, nothing about it. It's an accident on Temple and Broadway. Then the second one happened. I thought, okay, a little unusual. I didn't think about it. But when we had the 3rd or 4th accident, I started thinking about it. Even the fundraiser that we had last night at Gallagher's, 15 minutes, maybe 20, before the fundraiser, there was an accident right in front of Gallagher's. And then we started the fundraiser, and there was another accident on the other side of the street. His mirror got taken off his car. So we're not saying that everybody died in every accident. It's just that we have accidents.
Okay.
How does that affect the people? Well, the insurance companies that service you guys, Liberty Mutual, Geico, State Farm, Farmers, they share a database together once a year. It'll be happening in January, and this is going to be considered a danger zone. I talked to State Farm about that. When that happens, it doesn't matter whether you got in an accident or not, your car insurance rates will go up because you're in a danger zone. It'll go all the way from Ocean Boulevard to 4th Street. So everyone's impacted by bad planning.
And that was based on a phone call that you made to the insurance company.
That's correct.
Other
Anybody
people
can make that call,
Okay.
you know.
Have other people, my question would be, have other people called in and complained the same thing?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you told us a little while ago that another way that you got your statistics was when people would phone in and tell you?
Absolutely. They'd call me or they'd call Mary Colvin. She's vice president of Broadway. And so I'd make every effort, get on my moped and I'd drive down to the accident. Like there was one on Kennebec and Broadway. And it's not in front of my house, but I got on my moped. This man here, hello? Hello. Talk to these people for a minute. This is the man who was at the Kennebec and Broadway accident. And I went down there from my house on a moped just to figure out, what the problem was. And it was a head-on collision. Is that correct?
Yeah,
What did you see?
what I heard. Actually, since the day they completed this, and I woke up that morning, all I kept hearing was crash. I live right on Broadway. I walk out, head-on collision, right over there, 2 blocks away.
And you believe that that's a direct result of the road diet?
It's not believe, it's absolute fact. Okay? They made these roads now so narrow, when you come out, you can't see unless you stick yourself so far out that you're going to get your front end taken off. It's dangerous. There was a woman already hit, her door was torn off. Okay? You can't tell me, from what the statistics I was told, that you have something like a 60 to 70% increase in traffic accidents on this one street. 70% the first time in 30 years? I don't have to be a scientist, I don't have to be a statistician to know what's what. My ears don't lie. Okay, I've heard 4 of them already. 4 accidents.
Okay.
And that's what I'm here.
Right. What's your name?
Kenneth.
Kenneth, thank you.
Yeah.
So Robert, one quick thing, I'm sorry. One quick thing. So you are still running for City Council
I am.
of District 2. If you get elected, what are you going to do to this project?
Well, first of all, I'm going to have a heart-to-heart conversation with our traffic engineer. Eric Widstrand resigned, so we have an acting traffic engineer now, Carl Hickman. We need to go back to the drawing board, and I really want to sincerely, come to the table with these people and say, here's our problem. What can you do to help us fix this? I mean, I want citizen input too, but we do have expert traffic engineers who can come up with a plan that will work better and be safer for us. So we're not against bicycle lanes at all. That is a misnomer here. I love bicycles. I was driving all through Copenhagen with a bicycle. Fabulous. But Copenhagen has something we don't have. They have bicycle stoplights. What a concept. Maybe we should have that. So, no, I want to work in conjunction with our traffic engineers so that we can come up with a safe plan for Broadway. And then it's going to cost some money from Prop A again, but we're going to have to do this over. And it's not something that you can paint off. This is, it's structural. These wheel anchors they've got, you trip out of your car on those things. They're black to black, number one. You can't see them in the night.
Right.
And I'm disabled. I have 2 hip replacements. I've already tripped. I don't want to do that anymore.
Right.
They even put these, what do you call, bolsters or something in the street.
Okay.
And they're like right where your passenger door car would open. Your door of your passenger side of your car would open. So you can't get out of your car. If you try to get out of your car, there's 2 inches left, so you can't, without a car sideswiping you can't get out of your car. It's so stupid. It's so dangerous. If the bicycle lane, if they were doing it on both sides, were on the inside of the street, like it is from Obispo to Redondo, that was Susie Price's district. She did a great job. It would be safe. We would be able to see. But the way it is now, you can't see.
All right, Robert Fox, we thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. And so we move on now to talk to some of the participants here and see what they're doing out here, why they're here, and what do they expect to see happen. So we'll wrap around here. Hi.
Hi.
So what are you doing out here today?
Oh my God, this is a disaster. Just had been a disaster. I manage a property up on Broadway between Falcon and Orange, and we had very little parking to begin with, and we've got even less now. This has just been a disaster. I'm losing tenants left and right just because of the parking situation. So, yeah.
Have you reached out to the city? If so, what have they said?
I haven't personally reached out to the city. There's other people that are higher up that are doing that, and but I'm just following the crowd. This thing's got to change. It's just crazy. Yeah. Well, thanks, you guys. Gotta go.
Thank you very much. Okay. So we continue our conversation here talking about the Broadway diet and the fact that a single lane in both directions have been taken out in favor of some bike lanes and some adjusted parking, if you will. Now, the crowd here has been peaceful. It's a crowd of about 50 or so, maybe 75 people, who are chanting, holding signs saying the Broadway roadway diet endangers lives. And let's see. Can I break? No. Yeah. Cut that out. Hi, what are you doing out here today?
I'm out here today because I think that the diet is dangerous.
Okay.
The lanes are not big enough anymore. If there's anything that you have to kind of get out of the way, if a car door opens, there's nowhere to go. On 4th Street, there's like a passing lane. So if somebody opens their car door, you can kind of sneak into the passing lane. Here, you're onto incoming traffic or you hit the door. And one day, there's going to be a kid in front of that door.
Right.
So
have you personally witnessed any of these traffic collisions?
I've witnessed somebody hitting a door.
Okay.
Yeah, and I hear there's a lot more. There was a meeting last night, I think it was last night, and there were 2 accidents just while the meeting was going on.
Wow.
So, and that's my primary reason. The businesses on Broadway are suffering, and the parking, although the councilman's office would tell you parking has been increased, it's been increased because they added parking places on Appleton.
Okay.
That didn't help Broadway. Broadway's actually lost spaces. And that's where the businesses are. So you'll see a lot of people out here today are from those businesses.
Okay. So you hope then that the city will take a look at the project, redevelop it?
I would like them to take a good look at it. I'd like for now for it to go away until it's thought out more carefully. They could put a bike lane on one side instead of 2 sides. They could do some diagonal parking. And when I brought that up, they say, well, diagonal parking is dangerous. But look at Seal Beach. The main street in Seal Beach is diagonal parking. And I've never seen an accident there.
Okay.
So,
What's your name?
Diana Giasano.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
All right, so the protest here continues, and like I said, it's been peaceful. And everybody here basically just wants the project to change and to be redesigned. So we're going to talk to a few more people here and see. So really quick, I saw you talking to her. I didn't want to jump in. So you've traveled up and down the street quite a bit since the protest started. Correct. What are your thoughts on what's happening here today?
My thoughts here exactly are we have some local residents who aren't used to making improvements along the corridor here, especially changing the 2-lane down into 1 lane and reducing parking. A lot of the residents here are not used to change, and they are just behind the fact that they are getting their parking reduced. When in fact the city did remove parking spaces here, not many. However, they did add parking spaces along 1st and 2nd Street to make some proper changes to the corridor here.
So you're a bicycle rider, obviously. How long have you been riding?
I've been riding since I'm 10 years old, so 15 plus years.
And according to the people who are protesting here, they say that there's been an increase in traffic collisions and other injuries related to what has happened here along this corridor. Have you personally witnessed any of that?
I have personally not witnessed any type of traffic injuries along the corridor. I do know that a lot of the people here today are not basing their opinions off of facts, information that is easily available. There is the Long Beach Vision Zero plan that states a lot of the injuries and deaths that have happened along corridor. If you're going 40 miles an hour, the likelihood of you surviving an accident is approximately about 80%. The moment you reduce that to 30%, your chances of living increases so much more.
So, finally, you don't see any issue with the roadway diet at all.
So, like I mentioned before, with every single type of corridor that is installed in the city, it is based off of urban planning and design. You can go to school and you can design the best bicycle infrastructure internationally and around the United States, and if you apply that directly to your corridor, it is not going to be perfect. Every single street and city is unique in its own way. So once the infrastructure is quite installed, the best thing that the city is doing is actively making changes. They are accepting constructive criticism, and they're actively changing the corridor as we speak. So they are not done making changes. One simple change is when cars are making the right-hand turn, they are installing bowl-outs with bollards that are putting in place forcing cars when they are making that right-hand turn to in fact slow down, reduce the speeds, which are making cyclists more visible. The traffic that is the parking space that is closest to the cars making the right-hand turn I suggest will be either no parking and or motorcycle parking only. That way when the cars are making that right-hand turn, they don't have an automatic barrier. So between the bowl outs, between designated parking spaces that they are marking visibly, and it's quite simple. When the Broadway corridor first came in, you had cars parking here all the time because they didn't know what this was, where the parking was going, or what to do. After the city made simple adjustments and painted the curbs properly and made the painting on the actual asphalt itself, made it a lot more easier to understand and what to do, and making this more visible. When you have the bright neon green paint, in fact, you are visible. And the attitude here today is that the bike lane that is installed does not make this road unsafe. This road was always been unsafe, and this was the city's plan to make this corridor safer. When you reduce speeds, you increase lives, and businesses will improve, because when you are slowing down traffic, you're not texting on your cell phone, and you're looking around, you're like, wow, I didn't notice that small little boutique store. And it's like, yeah, it's great, because you're on your bike, or you're walking, and or you're slowing and going the traffic and not 40 miles an hour.
So you're one final question. So you're in the minority out here today.
I am one of 3 people.
One of 3 on this side. There was one guy on that side too. So, he's over here now. Okay, so you guys are all on the same side here. What's it been like interacting with the protester side?
The protesters aren't really receptive to the facts. Instead, they're here based on the sole fact that assuming that road diets are endangering cyclists, and a lot of their opinions are not based on facts. My goal here is to provide facts and to get input and to see what type of constructive criticism that I can receive from people who are against it, so we can all work together and figure out how to make this corridor for all users, road users, cyclists, and anything alternative to mobility, and of course business owners.
What's your name?
My name is Johnny Tully.
Johnny, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a business?
So opposing views on both sides there made their points very clear here in this protest. The conversation, however, will continue, and you can visit us at longbeachlocalnews.com for more on this story. Reporting at Bixby Park, Eric Richards, Long Beach Local News.